I'm over at my desk, and normally when I do these computer videos, it's usually just a voiceover, but I'm trying my MacBook connected to my phone, and then that way I can kind of look at the camera and talk to you about things as I go through my computer files and show you what I've been working on. My goals are taped up here. You can see that video for, my summer goals, and I'm really working a lot on Project Life 2022 and also my me albums. So I like to have all of my projects in one folder. So for 2025, I have it all in one folder. And if I want to break it down further, I can, which I might do because I want all my me pages in one spot and so on and so forth. So let me show you what that looks like. So if you come over to my main page for my creative supplies, that's how I have it broken down in my hard drive. You can see that I have zeros, and the zeros just bring it up to the top. And usually when I do like a double zero or a triple zero, it just means that I want to give that project priority. And I do need to take a look at that because right now my priority is the 2022 Project Life. So I should probably change that to an asterisk. The asterisk allows me to have it at the very top, and you can see that when I compiled the photos for Project Life 2023 and 2022, plus my me albums, I put those in individual folders and then put it all the way up at the top. So for my me album, I just wrapped up mapping out May, and I love the pages and I love how they turned out. So I'm going to show you how those turned out. And I like to do the view up here that shows items as icons because for me that just works better. And you can see up at the top again, I use the zeros so that way they stay up at the top. This is where you can see my canvases. I have different canvases. It looks like I have duplicates of various canvases, but I use them as kind of a workspace for my projects, just like if I'm at my desk. So I have 25 by 15, 30 by 20. That's kind of my new favorite. So that's the size that I'm playing with. And it's in inches. It's not in pixels, inches. And then if I have a really big project that I'm working on, like Week in the Life, then I will do 48 inches by 24 inches. So those are my canvases. So if I click on one, let's click on this one. So I open that and you can see that it is, the 25 by 15, it's gray because I want to be able to see the paper that's in front of it. So when I go to print these pieces, I will be able to see that this is a white background and my photos go on top. So that's why it has to be gray. And what I leave here when it opens up is I leave various pieces or sizes and clipping mask. So you can see I have a 2x2. I have 2.75 by 3.75 to clip in a photo, and then the 3x4 mask right on top of it. And then I have some backgrounds outside the page protector, 7 by 8.25. And then I think this one is 6 by 8, and this is 4 by 6. And sometimes I will have a half size as well, which is 5.5 by 8.5 inches. So I know I kind of went through that fast. So if you have any, comments or anything, just let me know. And do a longer video about this because this is what I've done for at least a decade, I think, of how I organize my projects because it makes sense for my brain. My projects here first, organize it, print it, and then go from there. So I prefer doing it this way. Now let me go down to my May canvas. So you can see I put 2024-5 May me canvas. And that's how I always label things is year, then month, and then the name of the month. That way it's easier for me when I'm finding things. So for May, I'm going to open up with 2 photos from my trip with my friend Erica. And the next page will be the overview that I did of our project that is already up as a video. And then I loved this outfit that I found at a used clothing store. So I'm going to do a project about that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate the flowers that I made in my journal for this page, and that way I can have it in my me album. So totally got the idea from my Hobonichi cousin, and I'm just going to replicate it there. For the everyday page, I'm just doing a grid. A grid makes sense and it helps to get things done. In between that, I'm going to do a vellum page, and I'm thinking about using this saying yes card. I'm not sure, but I know that I want to use that selfie. So that selfie is going to go right on top. Let me see if I can move it up to the top. So it'll sit right on top with the vellum sheet, and I might do like a stamping of some quotes. Over here, I have a hiking page with my husband and 2 rows of photos. Once I print those out and kind of line them up, I will go ahead and tilt them a little to just add a little bit of fun movement and something different to the page. Another really pretty outfit I got was a dress, like a almost like a seafoam green dress, and I took some selfies, of course. So I'm gonna go ahead and document that. And I put a little note here saying that I want to use the Ali Edwards color kit, so that way when I get the kit, because it's delayed physically, so I might have to get the digital, but I'm gonna wait on that project if I can. And then to end May, I have this fun photo of me at my creative space, and I just did a thumbs up. So that is my May, and I think it looks awesome, and I'm excited to put together these pages and bring May all together. My other goal before the summer ends was to plan out June. Yes, plan out June and at least print June. And so hopefully I can do that. Before I let you go, I'm going to show you 2022 and what I have planned so far for 2022. I think I'm almost done, and I just need to get everything set on 4x6 canvases, and that way I can send it off to Persnickety to get printed. So if I go back here and I find my 2022 folder, you can see it's there. I like having it on the option of showing items as icons. That works much better for me. So I have all my print folders. I finished with July, and I think I'm almost done with August. Yes, I'm done with August, and I think I'm working on September now. So September is where I'm at as far as getting things ready for printing, but I'm all the way down into November, the end of November. So you can see here I am working on the end page for November. That's where I take a lot of the random photos and just kind of put them on the end page. But for my opening page, I kind of like to capture what the month is about. So for December, it would probably be something to do with my decorations and getting those out. And let's see, I have finished up Halloween. This one, I have this photo just sitting off to the side of the canvas. That way I can put it in the middle with some vellum or, you know, something like that. So I love how Halloween turned out, and I have room for a few different spots for journaling. And then I wish this could be bigger. Let me see if I can make this bigger. So it's a little bit bigger. You can see that's Halloween. And I am just very excited to have these pages wrapped up and to be moving forward with this project. So you can see this is the end of September, and I only wound up with 2 photos, but they're both of my daughter and I shopping at Target and like looking for Halloween decorations. So it has some continuity for the start of October, which is something else I really like to aim for when I'm making these pages. So that is that page. And let's see what else. So here's one from September. Now, one thing I'm not doing, which I normally do, and if I do have extra time, like I'm really hoping I have some more time to like sit down and, you know, play with these weekly spreads, is I would see in my digital scrapbooking supplies what I have and compare it to what's still in my stash and try to pull the digital cards so that way I know which ones to use. But I don't think I'm gonna have time for that, so I might just be brave, get the photos printed, and then plan out my supplies. I haven't decided. But that I wanted to show you is that I planned out my trip with Erica. That was on the travel section where I wanted to plan out, you know, the first trip that I took with my friend Erica, and I managed to do that. So now I just have to send off my order, and I put a folder here. Again, if I wanted it to be bumped to the top, I would put a 0 because it just bugs me when it's like hanging down here at the bottom. Same thing with these two folders. It just bugs me. Like I want them to be up at the top, front and center, where I can see them, and that makes sense to me. That's just how my brain has always worked when I've organized my projects. So this is our trip. Let's see. And so like this is going to be a full page photo, and then I'll have a 3x4 over the top of it, and then it can either be on a vellum sheet or it can be like one of those snap pocket flip ups or something like that. And then I have some more photos here, a really pretty photo of my friend Erica on the bridge, and then some nature photos. So that's just one page, but I have so many pages from our trip. So I'm really happy with how that turned out, and you can see them all here. Let's see. Let's open this one. This one was a fun one. It's shopping, and what I might actually do is take all of these pages, make sure they're flattened, and then add them onto just a white piece of paper so that way I can print it out and start to pull the page protectors, because my page protectors are a mess right now. So I don't know, it might make sense to have that guide. I have done it in the past where I print a guide so that way I know not only where the page protectors go, but once the photos come in, I know which photos go where. So that is all ready to go. I just need to have it sent off. And I think, yep, I created photos to use and photos to print, and I put asterisks so that way, again, they were up at the top. So photos to print is right here, and I just need to upload them. I think I have a few 6x8s. Yep, I have 3 6x8s and 1 5x7 because we did some paintings with ghosts, or we found some thrifted old paintings and then added some ghosts. So that was fun. So that is what I've got going on my computer right now. So I hope you enjoyed this different kind of behind the scenes video.